All right, 5 pi over 6. What quadrant is that going to put us in? 2. Good. Draw your triangle in quadrant 2, and you're on your way. Always make sure the right angle is on the x-axis. What is the reference angle? And your choices are pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. Pi over 6. The denominators are just going to match. The radians are easier because if it's 6, it's going to be 6. What goes across from pi over 6? 1/2. I've got it on the board up there. What does that mean the other side is? Square root of 3 over 2. You can just say 3 over 2 if you want. I know what you mean. Now, if you're not in quadrant 1, something or both is negative. What's negative for this one? X. Good. That is the work I want to see. I'm not asking for a whole lot, so don't give me a hard time about that. That's the work I want to see. All right. Now we answer the question. It says sine. Sine is the y value. Which one of those is the y value? 1/2 is your answer. Next one, where is pi over 3? What quadrant is pi over 3 in? 1, good. Draw your triangle in quadrant 1. What's the reference angle? Pi over 3. If you're in quadrant 1, it just is itself. All right, what goes across from pi over 3? Good, that one. What does that mean the other side is? 1/2. Is anything negative? No, because you're in quadrant 1. That's the work. Again, that like work with me. It's only a triangle. Now we're going to do cotangent. Cotangent is x over y. That's going to be 1/2 over, I'm going to have to write it over here. Did I have enough space? Square root of 3 over 2. I realize that looks like a disaster, but what's always going to happen is that the 2's will cancel because they're all over 2. So you get 1 over square root of 3, and then you have to rationalize that. What will it be for your final answer? Perfect, you guys got it. This one's in degrees, so we're going to stick with degrees. What quadrant is 300 in? 4, good. What's the reference angle? 60, good. Why 60? Well, yeah, like the whole way around is 360, right? But you only went 300, so there's 60 left. But do you get that the radians are easier because it just matches whatever the denominator is? When it's degrees, you have to actually think about it and do a subtraction problem. The radians are in my opinion, a lot easier. All right, what goes across from 60? That's the big angle. Square root of 3 over 2. That means the other side is 1/2. Something's negative. The y value. Good. That's your work. Then you answer the question. Tangent is y over x. So it's going to be negative square root of 3 over 2 over 1/2, which again, I know that looks awful, but always the 2's are going to cancel. And you get negative square root of 3 over 1, which just is negative square root of 3. If you leave it over 1, fine, but like technically it's just that. All right, this one's in degrees. What quadrant is 135 in? 2, good. What's the reference angle? 45. What goes across from 45? Good. And then what does that mean the other side is? Square root of 2 over 2. Which one's negative, the x or the y? X. Good. That's your work. Your work is now done. Then you answer the question. It says cosine. Cosine is the x value. That's this one. So negative square root of 2 over 2. All right, where is 4/3? 3, good. 3/3 is 1 whole pi. 4/3 means you went a bit further. What's the reference angle? Pi over 3. Do you see how this is thirds? It's just going to match that. What goes across from that? Good. Square root of 3 over 2. That means the other side is 1/2. What's negative? Both. There, that's your work. Then you answer the question. This one's also cosine, so which one's our answer? Negative 1/2. Do you feel like you've written the same thing over and over and over again yet? Yeah, like, isn't that great? Like, because once you get it, just keep doing that. This is where I started to love math. I'm like, oh, I just do the same thing over and over again. All right, where is 11 pi over 6? I heard somebody over here say it. Fourth, good. Because the whole way around would be 12/6. 11/6 means you didn't quite make it. What's the reference angle? Pi over 6. What goes across from that? Oh, careful. 1/2 goes across from that. That means the other side is square root of 3 over 2. Which one's negative? 1/2. Good. Then you answer the question. Secant means you're going to flip the x value. Don't put 1 over it. I know that's how it's written up there, but all it means is flip this. So that would be 2 over square root of 3, and then you rationalize that. So 2 square root of 3 over 3. All right, where's 45? 1. Bless you. Oh, I wrote it in. The reference angle is 45 because you're in quadrant 1. So what goes across from that? Good. That means the other side is also square root of 2 over 2. They're both positive because you're in quadrant 1. Secant, again, means you're going to flip the x value. Now, we did this one last time. You're welcome to flip it and then work through rationalizing that if you want. But if you just know this one, it's going to make your life easy. If you flip square root of 2 over 2, you just get square root of 2. It turns into a mess with the 2's. You can look back. We did one last time. You end up with 2 square root of 2 over 2, and it's like 2's everywhere. All right, 225. We'll do one more together, and then I'm going to have you guys try a few of these. Where is 225? What quadrant? Third. Good. What is the reference angle? 45. And do you guys hear how you hesitate more when it's in degrees? The degrees are harder because you have to actually think about it. All right, that means both sides are square root of 2 over 2. And then what's negative? Both. Perfect. That is your work. Then we answer the question. Cotangent is x over y. I will write this out so that you can see it, but if you don't want to, I'm honestly fine with that. If you do x over y, it looks like this, but what is that going to come out to be? Yeah, anything over itself is 1. Even the negatives cancel, so it's just going to be 1. All right, so 150, what quadrant is that going to be in? 2, good. What is the reference angle? 30? Across from 30 would be 1/2, good. That means this is square root of 3 over 2. Which one gets the negative? Perfect, that is your work. Now we're going to answer the question. Cosecant means you flip the y value. If you flip 1/2, you're going to get 2. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sort of sideways. Like, did that one go okay? All right. Pi is one of your quadrant angles. It's going to land on the axes, so you're not going to get a triangle. Is pi up, down, left, or right? Left. What is that coordinate point? Good. That's the work for ones that look like that, because you don't get a triangle. Now we answer the question. Cosecant means you flip the y value. You can't flip 0. You can't divide by 0, so this one is undefined. All right, 7 pi over 6. What quadrant is that going to be in? You went a little further than 1 whole pi. 3, good. What's the reference angle? Pi over 6, good. Across from pi over 6 is 1/2. That means the other side is square root of 3 over 2. They are both negative. All right, tangent is what over what? Y over x, good. It's going to be -1/2 over negative square root of 3 over 2. So what cancels out? The 2's and the negatives. Good. You get 1 over square root of 3 and then rationalize it, square root of 3 over 3. All right, 2 pi over 3 is in the second quadrant. What is your reference angle? Good. What goes across from pi over 3? Good, square root of 3 over 2. That means down here is 1/2, and which one's negative? The 1/2, good. All right, that's your work. Tangent is y over x. So it's going to be square root of 3 over 2 over -1/2. The 2's cancel, and then your final answer is negative square root of 3. What quadrant is 315 going to be in? 4, good. What is the reference angle? Good. That means both sides. Good. Which one is negative? That's your work. Now answer the question. Sine is which one of these? The y value. Good. Negative square root of 2 over 2. All right, pi over 2. That is one of your quadrant angles. Is it up, down, left, or right? Good. What is the coordinate point for that? 0, 1. That's your work. Cotangent is x over y. That's going to be 0 over 1. Is that 0 or is that undefined? 0. Good. You're allowed to have 0 in the numerator. You just can't divide by 0. Oh, 360 is also a quadrant angle. Up, down, left, or right? Right. Good. That is the point 1, 0. That's your work. Secant means you're flipping the x value. If you flip 1, what do you get? 1. Yeah, 1 over 1 just is 1. All right, and then last one, 5 pi over 3 is in what quadrant? Good. 4th. 6/3 would be the whole way around. 5/3 means you didn't quite make it. All right, and then what's the reference angle? 60 is not wrong, but we have to, yeah, like you have to go with whatever the problem says. So pi over 3, which is 60, right? Across from that, square root of 3 over 2, that means the other side is 1/2. Which one's negative? Good, the square root of 3 over 2, the y value. That's your work. Cosecant means we flip which one of these? The y value. Good, we're going to flip this. So it is negative 2 over square root of 3, and then we're going to rationalize that. So negative 2 square root of 3 over 3.